What is the secret to a healthier and happier life? Initially, many thought that the recipe was wealth, money, and popularity, fame. Turns out it was all wrong. Professor and psychiatrist at the Harvard Medical School of Medicine Robert Waldinger explained, based on a 75-year study of 724 people in America, showed interesting results. Waldinger, who uploaded this in one of his videos on the YouTube channel, in 2016, explained that 3 important lessons could be concluded from the study, namely, first, those who have good social relationships, with family, friends and community, neighborhood, are healthier and happier on average. From there, it is also known that loneliness accelerates death. Loneliness kills. Second, don't rely on just the number of relationships. What is important to us is not the quantity of social relations we have, but rather the quality of those relationships, which is even more important. That's why conflicts in marriage are so bad for us. Sometimes even worse than divorce. On the other hand, living in a warm atmosphere will protect all parties. Third, good relationships with other people, family, friends, community, are not only healthy for the body, but also for our brains. If people know there are other people who can be relied on in various difficulties they face, then that person's brain will have a much stronger memory, not easily forgotten or senile. That is why it is recommended to continue to improve the quality of the relationship, communication, with all parties, including reducing screen time, using cell phones or computers for a long time, so that humans can live healthier and better lives. So far we have been told that in order to achieve happiness and longevity, we must focus on our work harder and achieve more and more. As if that's all we have to pursue to live a good life. The picture of our life, the choices that people make and how it turns out for them, it's all a picture that is very difficult to grasp. Most of what we know about human life comes from asking these people about their past. But it is difficult and not an accurate way, because we forget most of the events in our lives, and sometimes memories can be so creative that they are misleading. So Waldinger and his team looked at people's entire lives, over time, from their teens through their old age, to see what makes people happy and healthy. Through the Harvard Study of Adult Development, researchers monitored the lives of 724 men, over 75 years. Every year we ask about their job, household, health and of course not knowing what their life will be like. Indeed, this is a very rare study. Nearly all projects like this disband before 10 years because too many people drop out of the study, or funding for research runs out, or the researchers start to lose their way, or they die, and no one goes on to study. But thanks to a combination of luck and the persistence of several generations of researchers, the study has survived. About 60 of the 724 men monitored were still alive participating in the study, most of them in their 90s. And now we started studying more than 2,000 children of these men. And I'm the 4th director of this study. Since 1938, the research team monitored the lives of 2 groups of men. The first group in this study started when they were freshmen at Harvard College. They graduated from college in World War II, and most of them went to fight in the war. And the second group that we followed was a group of boys from the poorest areas of Boston. They were chosen for this study because they came from families troubled and impoverished in Boston in the 1930s. Most of them live in tenements, without access to hot or cold water. When they started this study, we interviewed all of these youth. We do health tests. We went to their house and interviewed their parents. Then, these teenagers grow up and have various professions. Some became laborers, lawyers, builders and doctors. One person became President of the United States. Some become alcoholics. Some suffer from schizophrenia. There are those who climb the social strata from the bottom up, and there are those who do the opposite. Every 2 years, the researchers contacted the participants. To get a clear picture of their lives, the researchers not only sent them a list of questions, but interviewed them in their living room, checked their medical records, took blood samples, scanned their brains, talked to their children. About 10 years ago, many of the respondents' wives participated in the research, so the researchers also recorded their dialogues with the wives. In fact, The message that good close relationships are important for health and happiness is advice that has been around for a long time. But why is it so hard to get and so easy to ignore? Because we're human. We like instant things we can get our hands on that keep life good and going. Relationships can be messy and complicated at times, and working hard to maintain relationships with family and friends is neither sexy nor glamorous. Its nature to live never ends. The 75-year-old study participants who were happiest in retirement were those who tried to turn coworkers into friends. Like the millennials in a survey called Waldinger, many of our participants growing up, initially, strongly believed that fame, fortune, and personal achievement were what they needed to live a happy life. But it's all wrong. So what have we learned? What lessons have we learned from the tens of thousands of pages of information we have gathered from their lives? The lesson we've learned isn't about wealth, fame, or working harder. The clearest message we've learned from 75 years of study is this: good relationships make us happier and healthier. Period. That's the video this time. If you think this video is useful, please give a thumbs up, subscribe and share with your friends so we can continue to provide interesting content. Thank you for watching.